Okay, so this will be the part 2 of the week 2 lecture about leukocytic disorders. So leukocytic disorders has two types. No? You have the non-neoplastic alterations or the non-leukemic, okay, or non-neoplastic alterations and the neoplastic disorders primarily involving leukemia. So what is the purpose of studying your leukocytic disorders? Number one is it helps now in establishing diagnosis. So the study of leukocytes now aids in establishing a definitive diagnosis for a patient. Next is it helps also in establishing prognosis or the survival rate of the patient. So prognosis, it refers to the survival rate no, of our patient. So if good ang prognosis sa atong patient, definitely pwede siya, possible siya na maayo from that um, sickness or illness. And if poor naman ang kanyang prognosis, of chances that the patient will recover. So examples with the patient is patients with pneumonia or appendicitis, it is a good sign, no? Or it is a sa tawagan na, it refers to a good prognosis. So meaning if increase ang WBC count sa atong patient with appendicitis and pneumonia, good ang kanyang prognosis. Whereas if patients with TB, so it is indicative of poor prognosis, meaning the more monocytes are per blood of patient, the lesser the chance that the patient. Okay, and then next is it is helpful in following the course of the disease. So example chemotherapy or WBC infection. So, di ba, chemotherapy will be killed regardless if it is normal or abnormal. So, yan. So, that's why your WBC or leukocyte counting is monitored during the course of a treatment. Ayan, so non-malignant change, again, di ba natin mga non-neoplastic and dito sa non-neoplastic cherry disease. So it is divided also into two. No, we have the quantitative changes and the qualitative changes. When we say quantitative changes, it refers to the number of cells present in your circulation. Whereas your qualitative naman, these are morphologic alteration siya ng inyong WBC. This involves the total WBC count, okay, of your total WBC count of your patient and or the relative and absolute concentration of the differential counting. So it depends, no? If leukocytopenia or leukocytosis, it refers to the total WBC count. The relative and absolute value naman differs, no? Depending on which WBC type is increased or decreased. Ayan, so by definition, your leukopenia is a decrease in lymphocyte segmenters or in all cell types. So it refers to the general, it's a general term, no, that is described as a decrease in the cell types or WBC cell types. Whereas yung leukocytosis naman, it is an increase in one or more cell type. Ayan, so high WBC count, that is your leukocytosis, and then your low WBC count, that is your leukopenia. So, yeah, so relative versus absolute values of our WBC. No? This refers to the differential counting. So relative percentage of each WBC, yun yung gina-report natin usually sa ating CBC. So if you can recall, no, if sa ato ang pag-process sa CBC, na-adjud tayo percentages of our WBC differential. So example, if your segmenters are 0.65 or 0.75, ganyan. So that is the relative value of your differential count. Whereas your absolute value, this gives the actual number of each WBC per liter. So how do we calculate for the absolute count of a WBC? So the absolute count is equivalent to the total WBC count times the percentage of our specific ang neutrophil kay i-multiply nilang ng 0.60 ang total ng WBC. That will give you the absolute value of your neutrophil. Okay, so depende na yan. So if we will also do absolute counting for your eosinophil, just multiply the percentage. Okay, and then definition examples. So we can also refer no quantitative changes or lymphocyte. Relative meaning ang percentage sa body sa neutrophils are increased. Whereas yung relative and absolute naman, say relative, relative na lymphocytopenia meaning low ang kanyang lymphocytes. So percentage and also the absolute value is also decreased for that specific WBC, specifically your lymphocytes. Yeah, so that's the difference between your relative and absolute values. Okay, so this is a table, no, actually this is from Rodax, Henry's or Rodax. So these are the absolute values of our WBC. Ayan. So this refers again to the absolute value of your specific type of WBC and the total absolute count of your WBC. This one is the total WBC na tawag ni tawag ni guys. Normal value. And then the following, kaning neutro, eosino, basal, lymphoid, mono, these are the absolute values. So this is times 10 to the power of 9 per liter of your specific WBC. Okay, so quantitative changes in WBC, though, so these are classified no, according to type of WBC. So, pardon na mali ni ko lang ang letter P. So, for granulocytes, we have neutrophilia, neutropenia. Okay, neutrophilia, increase in neutrophils. Neutropenia is decrease in neutrophils, eosinophilia, so on and so forth. So, that's how, di ba, nag-discuss naman tayo before of the Latin and Greek na suffixes. So, if philia, meaning increase, if pinia, that is your decrease in the count. Yeah. So nata diri no plasmacytosis. So this does not refer to plasma ha. This refers to plasma cell. So di ba plasma cell are lymphocytes. So specifically your plasma cells are increased in this term, no? Plasmacytosis. Yan, so let's start with neutrophilia. So neutrophilia refers to that the neutrophil absolute count is above above the normal range. So the absolute count is greater than 8.7 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. So indications no of neutrophilia usually caused by infection, inflammations, and malignancy, particularly your bacterial infections no or bacterial cause of inflammations. Yan, so factors affecting count of neutrophils. So we have first no the rate in inflow of cells from bone marrow. So if there is an increase or decrease in the release of the peripheral blood, ayan. So magdepende ang count sa atong neutrophils depending on the rate of our bone marrow to produce cells. So if your bone marrow is unable to produce, of course, no lesser ang number of neutrophils. Whereas kung imong bone marrow naman is paspas siya mubuhat o WBCs, of course, you will see increased numbers of neutrophils in the circulation. Next is proportion of marginal granulocytic pool and circulatory granulocytic pool. So assess neutrophil in CGP or the circulatory granulocytic pool. If there is a shift from the marginal to the circulatory, there will be neutrophilia. And if baliktad naman, from circulatory to the marginal, there will be neutropenia. Ayan. And then also the rate of outflow of cells from the blood. So if there will be increased need no sa atong neutrophils to go to the tissues no in order to fight specific infections or inflammations. So that would mean a left shift no. Left shift left shift refers to the increase of immature forms or immature neutrophils in the circulation. Kay, 'di ba, normally our body's mm, compensatory mechanism, if there will be decrease no in the number of cells present in our circulation, your bone marrow will compensate by producing a lot more. And then by producing a lot more, di na siya mulat na mo mature. That's why immature forms ang ma-release sa circulation. So yan, kung mas daghan ang need na neutrophil sa atong tissues, okay, so mas manggamay sila sa circulation, then what will your bone marrow do is to release more, is to produce more neutrophils, and then in return, no, sa sige kapaspas sa rate sa pagsigig produce, your neutrophils will be released prematurely to the circulation. That's why makakita ka ng mga band cells sa ating circulation. Ayan, so physiologic causes of your neutrophilia does not involve tissue damage. Okay, so physiologic lang, meaning, sa tawag na, um, dili siya caused by a pathogen. Ayan, caused lang siya by a specific changes in your body. So this is referred to as pseudoneutrophilia. Ayan, so not related again to underlying tissue pathology or any pathologic condition. So for example, if there's hypoxia, okay, so if there's hypoxia, what will your body do is to release no early forms of your WBCs. So severe exercise, ayan, stress or crying. Ayan, so I will give emphasis to crying or stress, no. If you can remember, no, sa ating sa previous ninyo na mga discussions about specimen collection, if your patient is constantly crying, okay, if sige siya hilak, diba, dili siya indicated for blood collection. Why? Because it is sana oy, it will cause left shift of your neutrophils, no, or specifically your WBCs. So, ma-erroneous, there will be pseudoneutrophilia in patients na gikwaan ninyo during nagahilak ang patient. So, labi na sa pediatric patients, no. So, mao na nga kung magsigig hilak ang pasyente, pakalmahon sa na siya bago siya kuhaan og tubo. Okay, specifically your um, pediatric patients. Again, kay mag-cause siya og false increase in your WBCs. Okay, injection of epinephrine. Ayan, after eating also, heat, ayan, cold, pain, fear, and anger. So these are just the physiologic causes, no, of your transient neutrophilia or your pseudoneutrophilia. Ayan, so for pathologic causes naman of our neutropenia, no, this occurs as a result of a disease or tissue damage. So number one is the tissue destruction or if there is tissue necrosis. Yan, for myocardial infarction rather, hindi na infraction na, that's infarction, burn, surgical operations, and crush injuries, no, there will be increase in your WBC count. Of course, infection, no? Infection or inflammation. So if there's appendicitis, salpingitis, or inflammation of your fallopian tubes, colitis, pancreatitis, otitis media. So yan. So the infections generally causes increase in neutrophils. Next is if there will be hemolysis due to acute or delayed hemolytic transfusion reaction. So there will be also increase in the there will also be increase in neutrophils. Ayan. So toxins, we have the following, no? Exposure to toxins. So metabolic, there's uremia, eclampsia, gout or diabetic acidosis, sa pa drugs and chemicals, na specifically exposure to lead, mercury, potassium chlorate, turpentine, and benzene, and exposure to venoms such as spider venoms, bees, and wasps. So yeah, so exposure to toxin will lead to increase in WBCs. Next is hemorrhage, no? Bleeding occurred in serous cavity. Um, there's bleeding, no, in our serous cavity. It can promote, no, the release of neutrophils. Yan, so much for neutrophilia. So now let's proceed with neutropenia. So neutropenia is the decrease, no, in the absolute count of your neutrophils. So that is approximately less than 2.0 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. So it is the most common cause of leukopenia, no, the lesser number of your neutrophils. So extreme neutropenia, agranulocytosis, it refers to decreased production or increased destruction of your WBCs. It can, ano no, it can lead to up to less than 0.5 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter na absolute count of your neutrophils. So what are the causes of your neutropenia? So problem with the bone marrow yun ang number one cause of your neutropenia. So if your bone marrow is unable to produce cells, of course, no, decrease yun ang number of neutrophils. Next is decreased survival or increased destruction, no? If there will be transfusion reactions or hemolytic reactions, ganyan. Next is pseudoneutropenia after injection of endotoxin, and in cases of hypersensitivity reactions, there will also be neutropenia. Yan. So, dili naman siya pathologically caused, no? Those are just physiologic causes of your decrease in neutrophils. Yan. So let's go with myeloid hypoplasia. So myeloid hypoplasia, also known as your Costman's infantile genetic agranulocytopoiesis. So this is a disease, no, or a genetic disorder. Although this is rare, autosomal recessive, which appears in early infancy. So in the bone marrow, there will be um, daghan og granulocytes, however, in immature forms. Ayan. So, daghan og neutrophils, however, few lang ang naga-mature. Okay, next is, in this type of genetic na condition, no, the maturation of our neutrophils is arrested or dito lang siya kutob sa promyelocyte. So, from myeloblast through to promyelocyte, dira lang siya kutob. Dili na siya mo further into myelocyte and metamyelocyte. So dira lang yun siya kutob sa promyelocyte. Okay, so that is your Costman's infantile genetic granulocytosis. So that's why hindi ka makakita ng neutrophils sa inyong circulation. Kay arrested siya in the immature form. Yeah, next is the next condition also no that can cause neutropenia is your familial encyclic neutropenia. So this is naman an autosomal dominant condition that which causes your neutropenia due to periodic stem cell failure or maturation of ELANE. So what is ELANE? That is your elastase neutrophil expression gene. So without this gene, no, um, without this gene, you will not be able to produce, no, a myeloid stem cell, okay, which is needed naman, no, for the maturation of your WBCs, specifically your neutrophils. Ayan. So, in order to revert this, ano no, this condition, kay dili man jud forever nga na walay buhaton si physician. So, what will the physician do is to administer GCSF or colony stimulating factor, no, para maka-produce siya og WBCs. Okay, ayan. Okay, next is myelophthisic neutropenia. So, in myelophthisic neutropenia, the bone marrow is damaged due to metastatic carcinoma or a Gaucher's disease. This is a lipid storage disease. And exposure to drugs, no, can also cause neutropenia, such as alkylating agents, ionizing radiation, chloramphenicol, benzene, sulfonamides, quinine, and quinidine. Ayan. So, let's talk about also, no, about ineffective granulocytopoiesis. So, in ineffective granulocytopoiesis, there is, ano tawagan? There are WBCs present, however, they are rendered as ineffective or no, they are rendered useless. So, they are not functioning normally. Your although you have neutrophils or you have WBCs, however, it is not functioning. So number one, no, I'm sure you are familiar with Chiari-Higashi syndrome. So it damages the intracellular compartment of the neutrophils, no, because of of the absence of a gene. Okay, the list gene. So the list is lysosomal trafficking defect. Ayan. So there will be giant granules present in your WBCs. However, specifically your neutrophils. However, your granules are not functional. So useless lang siya. Okay, useless lang ang granules. So if ever makapagositize siya o bacteria or an antigen, walay pulos because it cannot kill the microorganism present. So this is your Chiari-Higashi syndrome. So, okay, so also no examples of ineffective granulocytopoiesis is the megaloblastic anemia. So in vitamin B12 and vitamin B9 or folate deficiency, basically in megaloblastic anemia, there will be pancytopenia. So pancytopenia meaning all of the cells are decreased. Yan. So myeloproliferative disorders, unregulated production of cells, though sige produce, however, it is not functional again. And then exposure to drugs, specifically the amidopyrine, which are used for analgesics. Ayan. So, this can cause no ineffective granulocytopoiesis. Yan, wait lang. Thank you. Wait lang. Laptop. Okay, so oh my God, I recorded myself na wala na record siya daw. Naluyan ako. Anyway, so yan, balik tayo dito. Ayun, nagutunta ko ito guys. Ayan, so there is pancytopenia. Dali naman nata ako nag-last. Okay. So yan, so decreased survival in infections, specifically in infections with typhoid, paratyphoid, and brucellosis, and in viral infections such as your measles, yellow fever, infectious hepatitis, infectious mononucleosis, and rubella. Splenomegaly, ayan. So in splenomegaly, spleen may trap the presence of your neutrophil, so decreasing its survival rate. Peltier syndrome is a combination of splenomegaly, rheumatoid arthritis, and neutropenia. So, immune-mediated causes of your neutropenia is the alloimmune neonatal neutropenia. Fetal neutrophils are destroyed by the maternal antibodies. Alloimmune neutropenia in children is self-limiting and lasts for only 7 to 24 hours after occurrence. And autoimmune disorders such as rheumatoid arthritis, Welke syndrome, SLE, and Sjogren's syndrome, this can cause also neutropenia. Pseudoneutropenia shift from CNP to MNP, ayan. Yan. So there will be this is a combination of decreased survival rate of the neutrophils and the ineffective production. So caused by endotoxin and drug induced. Okay, next is eosinophilia. Okay, so eosinophil count exceeds 0.4 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. So causes of your eosinophilia are the following, no? Inherited and usually autosomal dominant trait but are usually benign, and malignant or reactive causes of your eosinophilia. So factors for reactive eosinophilia, we have the release of granule content that acts as antihistamine. So remember that your eosinophils releases antihistamine, counteracting the action of the granules released by your basophils, your histamine. So again, so remember that eosinophils need chemotactic factors. So what are those chemotactic factors? Those are the secretions made by your mast cells and basophils. So the release of histamine will trigger the release of your eosinophils, of your antihistamine, in order to regulate the uh, no, the action of histamine. Ayan. Okay, next is parasitic infection. So usually eosinophilia is indicated in patients with parasitic infection. So yung eosinophils will release MBP, di ba, yung major basic protein, i-release ni eosinophil, which targets the specific organism. So the granules or your eosinophil will actually bind with the FC region of your IgE, your immunoglobulin E, which is also attached now to the surface antigen of your parasite. So once na nakadikit na or attached na si eosinophil sa FC region, the major basic proteins will be released, no, to attack now your parasite, or will release MBP to produce spores, no, and damage the parasite. So again, the major basic protein is the major component of the granules present in your eosinophils, which is rich in RGB. Ayan. So, causes of your eosinophilia are the following. No, we have your um, allergic diseases, bronchial asthma, rhinitis, and hay fever, usually mediated by IgE, okay, your immunoglobulin E, and then mast cells and basophils, granulation with the release of chemotactic factors. So, yan. So, dili lang sa eosinophil ang mudikit kay IgE, no? Also your basophils. Ayan. Skin disorders, dermatosis. So usually, skin disorders can also cause increase in eosinophil count, your atopic dermatitis, eczema, pemphigus, your hives, and psoriasis can lead to increase in WBC, your eosinophils. Next is Loeffler syndrome. So this is characterized by repeated transient pulmonary exudates accompanied by cough. So remember that your Loeffler syndrome is caused, no, by the parasites that can do heart-lung migration. So kinsa itong nag-heart-lung migration, si Ascaris, Strongy, and hookworm. So your sputum will contain eosinophils. So aside from eosinophils, no, it will also contain the sputum of patients with Loeffler syndrome will also contain Charcot-Leyden crystals, kani, which is the crystals that are formed, no, in the disintegration of your eosinophils. Next is pulmonary infiltration with eosinophilia, usually seen in patients with AIDS. Ayan. Tropical pulmonary eosinophilia, which is caused by your blood nematodes. Okay. Usually your Wuchereria bancrofti, Brugia malayi, and can also be indicated in hyperimmune reaction with very high IgE. So infections with nematodes, no, can cause TPE, or the tropical pulmonary eosinophilia. So aside from that, no, hypereosinophilic syndrome can also be the cause. No, however, walay known cause of your eosinophilic syndrome. However, this will cause a decrease in eosinophils. This infiltrates the heart, causing cardiomyopathy. And then balik-balik, si parasitic infestation, the tissue parasites will provoke a higher degree of eosinophilia. Specifically, examples of parasitic infection will involve your trichinosis, strongyloidiasis, filariasis, schistosomiasis, hookworm infection, and your Fasciolophiasis. And there are also other parasites, no? The cestodes and trematodes. We have Yersinia infection, Paragonimus westermani infection, and also the eosinophilic meningitis, which are caused by your free-living amoeba, which is your Acanthamoeba culbertsoni and Naegleria fowleri. Next is infectious diseases caused by your group A strep, no, scarlet fever, and chorea, which are involuntary jerky motion or movements of the limbs, can also cause eosinophilia. Next is splenectomy. So the spleen is involved in controlling the levels of your eosinophils. Okay. Pilocarpine, ayan, drugs, no, exposure to drugs or yan, can also cause eosinophilia if given to patients, specifically the drugs pilocarpine, physostigmine, and digitalis, and para-aminosalicylic acid, and sulfonamides. So these are drugs that can cause eosinophilia or transient eosinophilia. Next is eosinopenia. So eosinopenia, the count is lower than 0.04 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. However, this is usually rare and stress related. Okay, the margination or migration to the inflammatory site can cause eosinopenia. So kung i-transfer na siya from the circulatory pool to the tissues, no, of course, mag-lessen ang number niya sa circulation. In inflammatory conditions, this will promote transfer of eosinophils from the blood to the tissues. Causes of eosinopenia. So with conditions that result in marrow hypoplasia, specifically involving the leukocytes. Okay, of course, now if there's hypoplasia, again, your bone marrow is not functioning properly. So yours, there will be no production of cells or WBCs. And then acute stress and acute inflammatory state caused by virus or bacteria, okay, or in acute bacterial infections, there will be eosinopenia. However, reappearance of your eosinophils in the circulation may indicate recovery from the infection. Yeah. Next is this can also cause, no, or a specific hormone can also cause decrease in eosinophils. That is your ACTH. So your ACTH produced by your pituitary gland has a diurnal variation, meaning increase siya during the morning. So usually in the morning we have increased ACTH. However, the reaction or the relationship of the levels of ACTH and eosinophil in the body is inverse. So pag increase ACTH, decrease si neutrophil, and vice versa. If pag decrease ang ACTH, increase po ang eosinophils. Next is Cushing syndrome. So Cushing syndrome, this is excessive production of ACTH by the pituitary gland. So again, pag taas ang ACTH, di ba, inverse ilang relationship ni eosinophils. So pag increase ang ACTH, decrease ang eosinophils. Ayan, so we do, you know, ano sa tawag ani? We do eosinophil counts um, uh, to some extent, no? Ayan. Ayan. To some extent, we usually do the eosinophil counting. We use hemocytometer na Fuchs Rosenthal and the Spear-Levy hemocytometer. So yeah, so it uses diluting fluid, of course, no, when you use hemocytometer. Yeah, so diluting fluid composition, um,
are the following, no? So floxine, eosine, or neutral red. This is used, or this is the to stain the red cells. Yeah, so this is used to stain the red cells. And then your propylene glycol naman is the component of your diluting fluid that lyses your RBCs. And then sodium carbonate, this enhances the staining of the granules as well as to lyse the other WBCs except for eosinophils. Kaya eosinophils manimong ilakaw. Okay, next is heparin. Heparin is also a component of the diluting fluid for eosinophil count. That is to prevent now the clumping of your cells. So, of course, no, your heparin, as we all know, it is an anticoagulant. So, it prevents clumping of your cells, no, making it easy for the medtech to count your eosinophils. Yeah, so there are four composition of the diluting fluid used for eosinophil counting. Okay, Thorne's test. So Thorne's test is usually tested, no, to assess adrenocortical function. Yeah, so adrenocortical function uses eosinophil count, no, to test, no, if your ACTH or if there is increase or decrease in ACTH. So, first, no, magkuha ka og blood. How do we do this one? Magkuha ka blood. Okay, for the baseline of your eosinophil count, which is the fasting eosinophil count. So, wala kay ACTH na time. And then next is that uh, 4 hours, no, after ka magkakuha og baseline na eosinophil count, mag-administer kag ACTH. So once naka-administer kag ACTH, 4 hours after that, you will also collect blood na pod for eosinophil count number 2. So normally the result of this test is that it should be 50% less compared with the fasting count. Okay? Remember, no, that the number of your eosinophils is lesser if there is increase in ACTH. So kung nag-add kag ACTH, no, of course, your eosinophil count should be decreased. Okay, the second count should be decreased. So the eosinophil count number 2, dapat mas gamay siya compared with the eosinophil count number 1. Okay, if naman in cases na equal ang count ni first of the second, meaning there is Addison's disease, okay, or hypoadrenalism. So your adrenal cortex cannot recognize and cannot act with the presence of ACTH. So there is decrease now in your areas your ACTH. Okay, so much for eosinophil. Now let's proceed with basophilia. So basophilia count is above 0.15 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. So in general, indicated siya in hypersensitivity reactions and leukemia. But generally, these are not affected by factors na such as time, age, and physical activities. So of course, because your basophilia is rarely seen in the peripheral blood. Although increase in basophilia may indicate the following conditions, no? Allergic reactions or hypothyroidism. If there is also CML or neoplastic conditions, no, such as myeloid metaplasia, can also cause increase in the basophils in the circulation. There is also striking basophilia in the presence of myeloproliferative disorders such as your polycythemia vera and chronic hemolytic anemia. Following splenectomy, there will be also basophilia, ulcerative colitis, and chickenpox and smallpox infections. This will increase the number of basophils in the circulation. Basophilia naman, causes of this one are hormonal and it is hard to assess. Usually, decrease ang count below 0.01 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. It is hard to assess again, guys, because basophils are generally even mura gani siya non-existent. Okay, dili gani nato siya gina-report kaayo sa CBC because less gyud iyang number sa circulation. Although basophilia can be seen, no, in cases with this of the following, no, sustained treatment with adrenal corticosteroids, acute infections, acute stress, hyperthyroidism, and thyrotoxicosis. So basophil count may also be done no using Spears-Levy hemocytometer. So you need to count 1,000 cell count for basophil count. So it uses neutral red and Alshan blue, okay, but still insufficient because of high coefficient of variation. Okay, next is monocytosis. So monocytosis is the term used to denote no, the presence or the increase in the monocytes in the circulation. So increase of count above 1.0 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. Okay, this is based on Rodax. But the count depends on the method used according to Steininger. So it's either Romanowski method or the enzymatic method. So that will depend no kung saan iyahang count. Okay, indicated in recovery from marrow hypoplasia disease and acute infection. So in a hypoplastic bone marrow, hypoplastic, diba, usually if hypoplastic and bone marrow, it will lead to decrease release no of your um WBCs. Okay, abnormal decrease in the production of cells. In cases like this, the monocytes will be released earlier than your neutrophils. So, increase in number of monocytes in the circulation would mean slow recovery from hypoplastic na bone marrow. Kaya dapat manggod si neutrophils ang ma-release sa circulation rather than your monocytes. So the presence of monocytes now in patients with hypoplastic marrow, meaning dili pa kayo ga-recover ang patient. Okay? Next is the increase in monocytes in patients with tuberculosis indicates poor prognosis. Ayan. So causes again of your monocytosis, your subacute bacterial endocarditis, okay, tuberculosis, and syphilis. So SBE, TB, and syphilis, consistent ang monocytosis na findings. And in SBE, remember that macrophages will form from the monocytes once it reaches the tissues. So normally, ang monocytes will be transformed into macrophages in the tissues. So however, in patients with subacute bacterial endocarditis, instead na sa tissue siya mag-transform, dito siya sa circulation. That's why there are histiocytes seen in patients with SBE or subacute bacterial endocarditis. In TB patients naman, no, the monocytes is involved no, in the cellular immunity, particularly in granuloma formation. So remember no, sa disease process sa TB, there will be caseous formation and eventually will lead to granuloma formation. That's why the scarring no, sa X-ray sa patients with TB. So, mauna, daghan, increase ang monocytes. So, kung increase pa gyud ang monocytes in TB patient, mas poor na gyud iyang prognosis. Kay meaning ana, mas nadagadaghan ang granuloma formation sa TB sa lungs. Okay, next is syphilis. No, this is an inflammatory response lang when the spirochetes or your Treponema pallidum bacteria will infiltrate their lymph nodes. Okay, other than that, no, fungi, Rickettsia protozoan viral infections can also cause monocytosis, and rheumatoid arthritis and collagen diseases and even Hodgkin's disease can also cause monocytosis. Next is monocytopenia. So decrease ang count below 0.2 times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. So causes is the administration of glucocorticoid or the use of steroids, specifically prednisone, hemodialysis or in sepsis, there will be monocytopenia. Viral infection, specifically your Epstein-Barr virus, yan can cause decrease in monocytes. So in monocyte counting, you have to count 200 WBCs no, to establish monocytosis or monocytopenia because your monocytes tends to adhere to the edges, okay, or the end of the smear. Ayan. So, dito na siya kasagaran makitaan. If maka-observe mo sa image duty ninyo, if magtanaw mo mga smears, guys. So, makita ninyo dito that monocytes are seen, most commonly seen sa periphery, okay, or sa kilid, sa edges ato ang smears. Okay, next is now your lymphocytosis. So, lymphocytosis usually um different siya, no? Depende sa patient. So, in adults, if greater than 4.5, there is lymphocytosis na absolute count. If in children naman, greater than 10, times 10 to the power of 9 per liter. This is indicated in viral infections. Usually, guys, no, lymphocytes are increased in viral infections. Antigen stimulation, specifically seen in post-vaccination no, na lymphocytosis. Why? Because remember, no, pag vaccine, specifically if ang vaccine nagyatag sa imo is an antigen, okay, what will your body do is that it will um, produce antibodies. So, asagi ka ng antibodies kay plasma cell. And recall that your plasma cell are activated B cells. And remember that your B cell is a lymphocyte. Okay? So, T cells are usually highest at birth, and your B cells usually remain the same throughout all stages of our lives. Okay? So, atypical lymphocytes are also known as reactive lymphocytes, no? Sige lang, I will show a picture of those types of lymphocytes at the end of this discussion. Causes of your lymphocytosis. So number 1 is the human T lymphotropic virus or the HTLV type 1 associated with T-cell leukemia. So this is characterized by fever, lymphadenopathy, and skin rash. So infection with HTLV, can increase the number of your lymphocytes. Okay, infectious lymphocytosis usually self-limiting among children, usually associated siya with Coxsackie virus A, echovirus, adenovirus type 12. Ayan. Next is chronic lymphocytosis. So, if there's chronic lymphocytosis, you may suspect no CLL or the chronic lymphocytic leukemia. So, you may suspect neoplastic conditions in chronic lymphocytosis. Okay, next other causes of your lymphocytosis is your infectious mononucleosis. So your IM or infectious mononucleosis is also known as the Cushing's disease. So these are self-limited infectious disease which involves the RES or the reticuloendothelial system, caused secondarily to Epstein-Barr virus, which is present in the saliva. So how do we differentiate now infectious mononucleosis caused by CMV or the cytomegalovirus from your EBV or your Epstein-Barr virus is the presence of your heterophil antibody. So positive ang heterophil antibody sa Epstein-Barr virus infection, and usually infectious yun siya no because the virus is present in the saliva. So triad of infection in IM, we have fever, lymphadenopathy, and pharyngitis. So there is also fever, sore throat, and lymphadenopathy, and there is also prolonged body malaise. Your infectious mononucleosis is also associated with hemolytic anemia due to the anti-I antibody production. So your anti-I will primarily attack your I antigen present in the surface of your RBCs and realize the RBC will lead that is leading to um, hemolytic anemia. Okay. Next is the thrombocytopenia may also develop because it can also attack your platelets. And then diagnostic features again of IM is the presence of heterophil antibodies. So next is CMV infection. Ayan. So in CMV infection, similar lang yun siya with your EBV infection. Okay. However, is the presence of heterophil antibodies sa EBV. Okay. The most common transmission for CMV is infected blood donor units, whereas your EBV kay in saliva. Okay, fever, chill, pareha lang yun sila clinical manifestations. There is absolute lymphocytosis. Increase ang atypical lymphocytes in patients with lymphocytosis. Increased titer of cold agglutinin, rheumatoid factor, and ANA, usually present in CMV infection. So next is pertussis, no? So pertussis or the whooping cough. Yan. So in whooping cough, usually caused by Bordetella pertussis, can increase the levels of your eosinophils. Yan. It can cause eosinophils. Okay, yeah. So normal looking ang lymphocytes, no? Compared with your CMV na atay mga atypical. So in pertussis, normal lang ng lymphocytes ang makita nato sa circulation. Okay, next is toxoplasmosis. So in toxoplasmosis, sa tawag ni, this is similar to IM and CMV infection. The difference again is that si sa tawag ni, and toxoplasmosis is negative for heterophil antibodies. And also, the increase in lymphocytes is usually relative lang in toxoplasmosis, pero dili absolute. Okay, absolute ang increase sa CMV infection compared with toxoplasma infection, which is relative lang ang increase. Okay. Next is lymphocytopenia. Ayan. So, lymphocytopenia is um, tawagan, is the most common cause of lymphocytopenia is usually patients now with AIDS. Ayan. So, mostly suffered by patients with AIDS, specifically your HIV virus or HIV virus, your human immunodeficiency virus infects the CD4 T cells or your CD4 positive T cells. So yun, there will be lymphocytopenia in patients with your HIV. So causes again, so these are the following causes of your lymphocytopenia. Okay, ayan. So, impaired lymphopoiesis, increase in adrenocortical hormones, administration of chemotherapeutic drugs, irradiation, Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and terminal cases of carcinoma and AIDS. So next is plasmacytosis. So plasma cells are seen as circulating in the blood. So an increase beyond 4% of plasma cells indicates plasmacytosis. So plasma cells again are effector cells when there is antigen stimulation present in leukocytes. So of course, no, if there's antigen stimulation, what will your body do is to produce antibodies. So again, asa ma-produce antibodies sa plasma cell or si plasma cell ang ma-produce of antibody. Your plasma cell is your B cells, and which is a lymphocyte. Okay? So causes, again, chronic infections, allergic states, neoplasms, rubella, measles, chickenpox, and mumps, and cutaneous exanthemas, monosyphilis, SBE, and sarcoidosis, and collagen diseases. So yan. So much for the quantitative, no, alterations, though there is also a non-neoplastic alteration of your WBC, which is your leukemoid reaction. So your leukemoid reaction is similar siya, no, with your neoplastic condition, specifically your CML, the chronic myelogenous leukemia. In CML and in leukemoid reaction, there is excess in WBCs. Okay, so daghan og immature forms, okay, of your WBCs. So pag when we say left shift, left shift meaning immature, daghang immature na WBC sa circulation. Right shift naman, sobraan po siya ka-mature, kay nga no, na managhan ng segmentation sa neutrophils. Okay? Specifically your neutrophils. So, leukocytosis with a shift to the left will indicate no, immature ang cells na naa or daghan ng immature forms of your WBCs present in the circulation. So, kung mayroong leukocytosis na shift to the right, okay, sobraan po siya mature, daghan po kaayo globes ang imuang mga nucleus sa WBC. So, yan. So, neutrophilic is the most common associated leukemioid reaction. And leukoerythroblastosis, these are indicated in with the presence of nucleated RBCs, which are your immature forms of RBCs and your immature forms of WBCs. Yan. So what is the difference between CML and leukemioid reaction? So the difference of your leukemioid reaction is that your CML increase ang all cell types or all WBC cell types. Whereas in leukemioid reaction, usually neutrophils lang ang increase or immature forms of neutrophils lang ang increase. But remember, no, kung immature forms ang naa sa circulation, it will be hard for the medtechs to identify if it is uh, immature form because of leukemioid reaction or immature form because of CML. So, how do we know if it is CML or LAP or leukemioid reaction? We use the test leukocyte alkaline phosphatase. So, remember that your enzyme, the alkaline phosphatase enzyme is present sa ating mga neutrophils. Ayan. So, neutrophilic siya. Okay, so increase ang LAP score sa ato ang leukemioid reaction compared with your CML. Okay, compared with your CML. Ayan, so that's the difference. Again, si CML, decrease ang iyang LAP score. Your leukemioid reaction kay mostly blast cells manggod ang present diri. Whereas in leukemioid reaction, so si neutrophils lang usually ang immature form, but the other cells are mature, so increase ang alkaline phosphatase that can be detected sa ating mga WBCs. Yan, so much for CML and your leukemioid reaction. Let's now proceed with the toxic changes. So usually manifests in both cytoplasm and nucleus. So mild toxic changes if there is increase in the presence of band cells and metamyelocyte. Moderate toxic changes if there's increased presence of the band cells and metamyelocytes and occasional na promyelocyte. And severe toxic changes if there's increase in the band cells, myelocyte, promyelocyte, and even the blastic forms. And even the blastic forms of your WBCs. Yeah. So now let's proceed with the qualitative alterations. Okay. So manata sa quantitative. So now let's proceed with qualitative alteration. So these are morphologic alterations, usually a response to infection or inflammation, which results to the alteration of its appearance. And mostly ang affected sa qualitative alterations are your neutrophils. So qualitative changes in your your WBCs. Okay. Ayan. So, lang. Yeah. So cytoplasm, there is altered ang primary granule. So this is an example actually of a toxic granule. Okay, ribosomal RNA in rows, lysosomal alteration, there will also be vacuolation sa cytoplasm, no, kanang bangag-bangag, and degranulation, and also the pseudopod formation may indicate qualitative changes in the cytoplasm. Okay, in nucleus naman, no, usually pycnotic ang nucleus, shrunken, dense, or dehydrated, and hypersegmented ang neutrophils. So, more than 5 segments ang lobes sa atong nucleus, which indicates change no in the normal gyud na number of lobes sa atong WBCs. Ayan. Next is, sorry. Yan. So now let's proceed with toxic granules. So toxic granules are primary or azulophilic granules even larger than the secondary granules. And normally your primary granules should not be stained by your Romanowski stain. So if ma-stain na ang primary granules, that would mean that these are your toxic granules. So have retained their basophilic staining reaction, usually this one, and the granules are peroxidase positive. So if less cells are affected, better ang prognosis sa atong patient and vice versa. So kung daghan ang affected, mas poor ang prognosis sa ato ang patient. So lowered pH in phagolysosome may affect the function of the WBC, hence rendering it useless again. So toxic granules are clustered and not evenly distributed. So similar ang toxic granules actually with Alder-Riley bodies anomaly, which is an inherited condition and evenly distributed granules. Factors, distinguishing factor between the toxic granules and an artifact is the appearance of the toxic granules in the whole PBS or the peripheral blood smear. So toxic granules is commonly requested na siya guys no before sa ako ang hospital na si Ayan. So toxic granules ginatanaw na siya sa PBS or sa smear. So if mag-request ang patient of toxic granules unsay ibuhaton sa medtech, you have to do a blood smear and then look for this one, kani siya, toxic granules. So i-report lang siya as positive or negative sa toxic granules. Ayan, so signs of toxicity, we have the basophilic azure granules, presence of cytoplasmic vacuoles, presence of sharp and blunt spicules from nucleus, no? And found in severe infections, cancer, hematoma, and tissue undergoing necrosis. Okay, yan. Okay, next is the Dolly bodies or the Dolly inclusion bodies. Okay, your Dolly inclusion bodies, ayan, so these are oval, small in the peripheral of the cytoplasm. Stains pale blue in a right stain. Ayan. So EDTA may affect the staining quality of the Dolly bodies, no? Sometimes light gray siya or pale blue. Ayan. So these your Dolly inclusion bodies are actually ribosomal RNA or precipitated RNA that is arranged in parallel rows. Okay, so these are located in close opposition to the cell membranes, specifically near pod sa nucleus. Sometimes accompany toxic granules and associated siya with scarlet fever, infectious diseases, burns, aplastic anemia, administration of toxic agents, and is seen in the segmented or band forms of the neutrophils, but may also be seen in monocytes and lymphocytes. May be similar to Mayhegline anomaly, no? But your Mayhegline anomaly is inherited, hindi siya acquired. Okay, your Dolly bodies or your Dolly inclusion bodies kaning blue there in the side, guys. Okay, so these are called Dolly bodies. So yan, so napod siya evacuation, nakita ninyo, napod siya toxic granules. Yan, so usually accompanied siya with those qualitative also na alterations. Yan. So these are actually precipitated RNA. Yeah. So next is the cytoplasmic na ayan, caused by phagocytosis, usually ang cytoplasmic vacuolation. So we have two types of phagocytosis. We have ingestion of cells and ingestion of extracellular material. Okay. So, if self naman, no, autophagocytic vacuole ang ma-form, yan, and smaller than a phagocytic vacuole ang atong mga autophagocytic vacuole. Will appear yellow if stained with neutral red, and the presence of vacuolation, if there is prolonged storage of cells, specifically in EDTA, no, if madugay kag form of um, madugay ka og form o unsa tawag ani smears, no. Okay, if madugay kag form of RBC, ayan, um, RBC, madugay form of smears. Okay, so from EDTA, it will cause vacuole formation. Ayan. So if already phagocytic vacuole, try to look if there is a presence of bacteria or yeast cell present in the vacuole. So present in early prognosis of your Lyme disease and ehrlichiosis. So examples yan of cytoplasmic vacuolation. So vacuolation meaning bangag-bangag. Okay. So those are cytoplasmic vacuolation. Causes, other causes, no, we have exposure to drugs, prolonged cell storage, prolonged storage of the cell or the blood, degranulation, extracellular material seen in sepsis process, severe infection and toxic states, and indicative of decreased bactericidal properties. Yeah. Next is cytoplasmic degranulation. So most prominent alteration of your neutrophils. Ayan. So your neutrophils, um, uh, normal function of activated or injured neutrophil in the Steininger, which are the primary granules, are emptied into a phagosome. In Rodax naman, the primary and some secondary granules into the phagosome, and excess secondary granules are secreted to extracellular environment. Yan. So, disruption of the cell membrane, yan yung cytoplasmic degranulation. Usually, associated po siya no kanang pag-prepare nimo sa blood smear, naatay mga WBC na mag-degranulate, so ma-release ang granules. Yan. So, hypogranular eosinophil undergoing granulation, seen in myeloproliferative disorders. Yan. So, basophil can also undergo degranulation, but hard to assess because the granules of your basophils are water soluble. Yan. Next is cytoplasmic pseudopods. So rare siya in toxic neutrophils. These are granule-free pseudopods. Pseudopods, wala siya granules and has amoeboid structure, indicative of sluggish or depressed neutrophil locomotion. Can be artifactual, the longer storage of the cells in the EDTA tube. Okay. Next is the cytoplasmic swelling. So cytoplasmic swelling, there is increased glass adhesiveness stimulated by neutrophils and neutrophilic anisocytosis, and large neutrophils may be present because of the osmotic swelling. These are termed as macropolycyte, but need to be differentiated from large cells that are caused by the vitamin B12 and folate deficiency. Okay? Ayan. So, associated also with hypersegmentation. Again, but you have to differentiate it, no, with the katong cells that are present in megaloblastic anemia. Next is pycnotic nucleus. Shrunken and dense nuclei, dehydrated ang appearance ng ating nucleus. Filaments can still be observed, and the nucleus may be seen in septic conditions and may also be due to poor staining or poor preparation techniques. Ayan. So next is hypersegmentation, more than 5 lobes. Yan. So if large cells are present because of megaloblastic anemia, if large cells are present, that is usually indicative of megaloblastic anemia. If normal size naman, hypersegmentation is due to Andrett's anomaly. So long-term chronic infection, indicated siya in long-term chronic infection. and large or normal size depending on the reason. Okay, may reflect degenerative process and affects neutrophils and eosinophils. So more than five no ang lobes tanawa ni daghan kay siya lobes. Okay, ayan. Next is toxic nuclear projection. So these are hair-like projections facing the centrioles and seen in band cells kani mga projections. So these are seen in metastatic carcinoma and irradiation therapy. Next is ring nuclei. So these are seen in early infections and prominent if there is leukocytosis. Yan. So indicated again in patients with toxic states and myeloproliferative states. So much for that, no, usually acquired na WBC abnormalities or qualitative alterations. So now let's proceed with the inherited abnormalities of granulocyte. So we have your Pelger-Wet anomaly. Pelger-Wet is hypolobulation. So, di ba, dapat 2 to 5. So, usually, ang Pelger-Wet kay either 2 or less than 2 jud ang iyang lobe sa nucleus. So, this is a hereditary autosomal dominant condition. Failure of segmentation of the granulocytic nuclei. Cells are normally functional naman. Okay, so there are two forms of Pelger-Wet. We have true Pelger-Wet and pseudo Pelger-Wet anomaly. So true Pelger-Wet anomaly is the cause of that is the mutation of the lamin B receptor, integral protein in the nuclear membrane, which is a deletion in the chromosome band or alteration in the chromosome band 1q41-43. So the lamin B receptor, this one, is responsible for the nuclear shape as the cell matures. So, nagkakaroon ng lobes, no, as the cell mature. Ayan. So, pin's nez spectacle. Pin's nez kani siya guys. So, kaning glass. Mura siya, pin's nez appearance. That is your true Pelger-Wet. Yeah. So, appearance in heterozygous condition, bilobe and pycnotic nucleus. Sa homozygous condition naman, cells will only have one lobe of nucleus, but the chromatin is coarse and dense. Sa pseudo-Pelger-Wet anomaly naman, no, these are acquired form of nuclear hyposegmentation reported in patients with metastasized tumors in the bones. So seen in myeloproliferative disorders or neoplasms, and lesser ang segmenters na affected, usually accompanied by other morphologic conditions, of indications of malignancy, such as presence of malignant blast forms or blast forms. Okay, and then usually pseudo-Pelger-Wet can also be seen no, in patients taking tacrolimus or an immunosuppressive drug. Yeah, so these are the changes, no, or changes or differences in the Pelger-Wet and pseudo-Pelger-Wet anomaly. Sa Pelger-Wet, mas daghan ang cells affected. Sa pseudo-Pelger-Wet naman, less than 38 lang. Si Pelger-Wet, all WBC lineages are potentially affected and only in neutrophils except for some cases of myelodysplastic syndrome. Yeah, so inherited and kani siya due to granularity of the cytoplasm of the neutrophils. Next is Meiheglin anomaly. So your Meiheglin anomaly is mura pud siya og Dowley bodies. Okay? Ang involved naman diri is that it involves the non-muscle myosin heavy chain 9 mutation linked to chromosome 22q12 to 13. So mura siya Dowley bodies. Okay, randomly placed rods, but larger siya. And accompanied also siya with the presence of giant platelets. So kani siya giant platelets man siya. So si Dowley bodies normal lang ang platelets, no, accompanied by normal platelets, whereas your Meiheglin anomaly naman mura lang gyud siya Dowley bodies but dagko ang iyahang platelets. Next is the Alder-Riley anomaly. So this is an autosomal recessive trait. So yan. So aside from the abnormal azurophilic granules, the darkly staining metachromatic granules composed of mucopolysaccharides are also stained here. So like toxic granulation but unrelated siya to infection. Your toxic granules kasi um, mangyari lang siya if there is an ongoing infection with the patient. So incomplete degradation of MPS or mucopolysaccharides, ayan. So also present in monocyte macrophage system. Okay, next is hereditary neutrophil hypersegmentation. So we have your benign autosomal dominant condition, hypersegmented PMN without clinical signs and symptoms, no macrocytic anemia even though there is hypersegmentation. Ayan. So, weird no? Weird kayo. Mura siya 3. Lahi-lahi ang iyang itsura. And myelocathesis, inability to release granulocyte in the blood leading to neutropenia. So, lesser ang number of neutrophils, however, hypersegmented na iyahang neutrophils. So, usually in bone marrow with hyperplasia, and increase ang apoptosis of cells, decrease ang survival sa cells, so there will be lower count of your neutrophils. So no enlargement of cells pa rin in myelocathesis. So next is the functional, no? Na-discuss na ni ganina, no, si Chejak Higashi. So again, positive siya og peroxidase. A mutation in the CHS list gene on the chromosome 1, Q42.1.1 to 2, which encodes for the protein involved in the vesicle fusion. Okay, will not only attack your neutrophils, but even the lysosomes of your NK cells. So this causes partial albinism to patient no maputi and photophobia. And large ang granules again of your neutrophils, but again, defective. Okay, and then poor ang kanyang directional motility. So dili siya ka-respond to the ang mga chemotactic factors. Okay, and defective ang granule release. And usually, frequent balik-balik ang pyogenic infections. The stop and step recurrent ang infection because bisan makaon niya ang mga bakterya, dili niya mapatay. Okay? Yan. So, this is an example of the Chijak Higashi ng mga neutrophils. Next is lazy leukocyte syndrome. Again, this is a rare mode of inheritance is unknown. Defective ang kanyang movement, specifically your neutrophils. Defective actin filaments, which is responsible for creating pseudopods for diapidesis. Okay, normal bone marrow reserves, but releasing cells to peripheral blood is poor, causing neutropenia sa ato ang patient. Normal ang phagocytic and bactericidal activity, pero cannot reach the site of inflammation. Kaya kasi nga, defective ang kanyang actin filaments. So, dili siya ka-form og pseudopods, dili siya ka-move. Pero okay ang iyang function. Kaya lang, di na gyud siya kaabot dito sa inflammation or infection or infected area. Kay very late na siya, mamatay na lang siya, di pa siya kaabot. Okay? Next is Job syndrome. Ayan. So, rare, unknown mode of inheritance pa rin. Impaired pa rin ang directional motility and associated siya with markedly increased levels of IgE. Ayan. So, believe that probably the IgE increase will also contribute to the motility of your neutrophils. So, observe in two primary diseases, ang Job syndrome. We have your muscular dystrophy and xeroderma or ichthyosis. Next is CGD or the chronic granulomatous disease. So your chronic granulomatous disease is a sex-linked or autosomal recessive, but commonly sex-linked siya. Ayan, so common in males. There will be inability of the phagocytes to produce superoxide and reactive oxygen. So walay respiratory burst during phagocytosis. So, kailangan manggod ang respiratory burst to kill the bacteria present sa phagocyte. So, there will be a mutation, no, in any of 4 genes for the NADPH oxidase. So, kung wala ni na enzyme, there will be failure of the membrane to stimulate respiratory burst. So, it can ingest actually bacteria, but cannot kill catalase positive organism. So example of catalase positive organism, mga Staphylococcus. Okay, so but it is able to kill catalase negative organism. Kasi oxidase manggod ang naga-produce og um, hydrogen, I mean, the superoxide. Okay? Yan. And then recurrent ang pyogenic infections in patients with chronic or CGD or your chronic granulomatous diseases. But the healing is often accompanied by granuloma formation. Yan. So how do we test for CGD? We have your NitroBlue tetrazolium reduction testing. So, stayin lang nato siya with NitroBlue tetrazolium, no, ato ang smear. Okay, the normal neutrophils, reduce, in normal patients, no, your neutrophils will be reduced, will reduce the yellow water-soluble nitrozolium, NitroBlue tetrazolium to dark blue, insoluble formazan. So that's why magiging blue ang ating neutrophils. Pero in patients with CGD, instead of reducing the yellow water soluble nitro blue tetrazolium, it will stay as yellow. Okay, mauna nga yellow siya diri. Okay, incomplete NADPH oxidase deficiency. Wala man niya na-reduce normally kay dili man normal ang iyang ang WBC, specifically your neutrophils. Yeah. Okay. Saan pag-erase sa annotation? Okay. Next is we have other morphological abnormalities of your granulocyte. We have your LE cell. So LE cell, no pangalan pa lang, yung lupus erythematosus cell. So these are cells found in the synovial fluid of patients with systemic lupus erythematosus. So neutrophil are with large purple homogeneous round inclusion with nucleus wrap around. Ayan. So nucleus man niyo nucleus of your neutrophil, naipit siya kay naa siya ingested na round body. So three factors are can be attributed to the presence of E cell. LE cell, we have your ANA, the anti-nuclear antibodies, cell nuclear phagocytes with ingested material. So, yan. Mistaken for TARC cells, these are monocytes with ingested lymphocytes. So you have to differentiate them by the color of the cytoplasm. So we usually test for Buffy coating, no, or the Buffy coat for testing of LE cells. Yan. So nako. Next is our rods. Ayan. Our rods, this one, o kaning mga rods present sa cytoplasm. So these are pink or red shaped structures. Finish you guys. So, wait. This one. Yan. So these are fused primary granules found in myeloid and monocytic series only. Okay, most commonly seen in AML or the acute myeloid leukemia and acute myelomonocytic leukemia. So phagot cell ang tawag naman if daghan na kaayo ang our rods sa imuhang neutrophils. These are normally these are seen, no, in patients with acute promyelocytic leukemia. Ayan. So your phagot cells, daghan kay siya og our rods. Okay? Ayan. Sorry. Next is monocytes. Ayan. Occasional, immature, becomes long and thin and band shape. Increase ang cytoplasmic volume. Ayan. So, inherited disorders of the monocyte macrophage system, the mucopolysaccharidosis, and all are autosomal recessive except for Hunter syndrome. So, we have three guys, Hurler, Hunter, and Sanfilippo disease or syndromes. Ayan. So, enzyme normally cleaves terminal sugar from polysaccharide chains. And then, there will be accumulation of glycosaminoglycan in the ribosomes. Ayan. So, in patients with mucopolysaccharidosis, no, we can test for the urine sample using this one, the CTAB, the cetyl trimethyl ammonium bromide, which is positive, no, will indicate white turbidity sa urine. Yan. So your Hurler syndrome na siya eye involvement, it can also affect the cornea. Yan. So this is inherited disorders of the macrophage monocyte or monocyte macrophage system. Yan. Next is lipid storage disease disorders. So we have your Gaucher's disease. This is an autosomal recessive disease. There is a deficiency in beta glucocerebrosidase located in gene 1q21. Yan, so accumulation of glucocerebroside in the spleen, liver, and bone marrow, which will also be characterized no, by chicken scratch cytoplasm sa ato ang WBCs. Ayan, so mura siya cat scratch. Dili siya klaro, pero mura siya o cat scratch cytoplasm. So that is your Gaucher's disease. Three types of Gaucher's disease. So we have your type 1, the adult form, the type 2 infantile, and the type 3 juvenile. And usually infantile and juvenile type 2 and type 3 na Gaucher's disease have a short life expectancy. So how can we test for Gaucher's disease? We can test it through periodic acid shift test. Next is Niemann-Pick disease. So again, this is still in lipid storage disorders. So Niemann-Pick disease, abnormal accumulation of sphingomyelin and cholesterol. There is a deficiency in this enzyme, the sphingomyelinase acid or sphingomyelinase enzyme. So the macrophages will be filled with small uniform lipid droplets or foam cells. So na yung mga foam cells present sa ato ang macrophages. So how will we test for Niemann-Pick disease? You can test for the amniotic fluid and look for foam cells. Yan. So yan, Niemann-Pick disease type A and B. So there will be a mutation in this type of enzyme gene. And then Niemann-Pick cells usually found in the bone marrow. So type A, normal lang enzyme, less than 5% lang ang enzymatic activity. Si type B, later in life, 10 to 20 ang normal enzyme activity. The brain is more affected in type A rather than in type B. Type C na Niemann-Pick, no, there is a decrease in the cholesterol efflux. So defective ang NPC1 gene and NPC2 gene that regulates for the intracellular processing and transport of your LDL cholesterol. So systemic, neurologic, and psychiatric ang symptoms in patients with Niemann-Pick disease. Poor ang prognosis in patients with Niemann-Pick disease na type C. Okay, sorry. Ayan. So, patients usually die before the age of 25. And the three types of Niemann-Pick disease can only be diagnosed by gene sequencing. So, blue histiocytosis, ayan. There's still a debate now if there is a specific condition of this is a or a result of a malignancy. So, although this is an autosomal recessive trait, there will be accumulation of sphingolipids of phosphosphingolipids in the cytoplasm. Usually involves hepatosplenomegaly and thrombocytopenia. Ayan. So granules that stain blue-green, these are blue. Mo siyang gitawag na blue histiocytosis. Kay blue-green ang color sa iyahang granules when stained with GemSat. Next, in lipid storage diseases, we have your Tay-Sachs disease. There is a deficiency of the hexosaminidase A enzyme. Occurs when harmful quantities of fatty acid derivative called a ganglioside accumulate the nerve cells and the brain cells. Usually associated siya with vacuolated cytoplasm na lymphocytes. Ayan. So these are cells seen in Tay-Sachs disease. Si Sandhoff's disease naman, a more severe form of Tay-Sachs. So both A and B hexosaminidase ang deficient. Ayan, vacuolated pa rin ang cells or specifically your lymphocytes. Ayan. So terminologies used to describe lymphocytes in non-malignant reactive disorders. So we have your variant, lymphocyte, reactive, atypical, virucyte, pareho lang na sila gina-denote. Yan. So lymphocytes, nucleus are clefting cytoplasm, and atypical lymphocyte are slightly larger than normal size. So kani siya example of a reactive lymphocyte, kani siya ang normal na lymphocyte. Ayan. So reactive lymphocyte, also known as Downy cell or also known as plasmacytoid lymphocyte. So these are B cells actually. Mononuclear cell. Ayan. So the nucleus have heavy strands or dense blocks of chromatin, and the cytoplasm are moderately basophilic and has vacuoles sometimes, and may have foamy appearance. Yeah, so this is an example of a reactive lymphocyte. So mura siyang monocyte, no, but remember that vacuoles are present gyud sa monocytes. Okay, makita na ninyo. Uh, um, mas bigger in size gyud ang monocytes compared with your lymphocytes. Infectious mononucleosis cell type 2, ayan. So, mura siya og fried egg appearance or ballerina skirt appearance. So, this is your infectious mononucleosis cell. Yan, ballerina skirt or fried eggs appearance of your lymphocytes. Okay. Next is transform lymphocytes type 3. Transformation of resting cells before becoming blast cells. Ayan. So, nucleus are still immature for your transformed lymphocytes. So, morphologic abnormalities of your lymphocytes. So, we have your hairy cell. Number 1. So, hairy cell, usually lymphocyte with hair-like cytoplasmic projections. Ayan, thought to be of B cell origin. So, hairy cell leukemia, usually makita ng hairy cell. And positive sa TRAP, okay, TRAP positive, the tartrate resistant acid phosphatase testing or staining. So, TRAP positive si hairy cell. Next is basket cell or smudge cell. So, these are degenerated na mga cells. Usually sa paghimo lang ni siya smear, but also indicated in patients with CLL or the chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Sézary cell naman, round lymph cell with nucleus that is grooved or convoluted. So, mura siya og brain, convoluted siya. Grabe niya. Dili po siya hyperlobulation, but rather nagka-kumpul-kumpul lang jud siya. Okay, mura siya o convoluted in appearance. So, indicated in patients with Sézary syndrome and mycosis fungoides. Reed-Sternberg cell, yan. So, this is a pathognomic of your Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, large with bilobe nucleus or 2 nuclei with prominent eosinophilic nuclei and abundant cytoplasm. So, these are your Reed-Sternberg cells derived from B cells, owl's eye appearance, usually indicated in patients with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, next is morphologic abnormalities in the plasma cells. So, we have your flame cells. Yan, so mura gyud siya flame. So, plasma cell with red to pink cytoplasm associated with increased immunoglobulin A and usually indicated in patients with multiple myeloma. Grape cell naman ang tawag, no, or berry or morula or moth cell. These are plasma cells with vacuoles. Yan. So, this is a plasma cell na dagko kay vacuoles. A large protein globule, usually immunoglobulin ni sila na accumulated, usually present in patients with multiple myeloma. Ayan. So, Russell bodies ang tawag sa sulod aning mga moth cell. Ayan. So, inherited disorders naman of your immune leukocytes. So, B cell deficiencies, we have your Bruton's agammaglobulinemia, the X-linked, okay, can be passed on from mother to male child. There will be series of bacterial infection because there will be no production of your immunoglobulins. So there will be a mutation in this enzyme, the Bruton tyrosine kinase, which is needed, no, sa maturation sequence sa ato ang T cell. Okay, remember katong first natin na video lecture. Next is the common variable hypogammaglobulinemia. So one or a combination of immunoglobulins is either missing or synthesized in small quantity. So there will be inability to mature to functional plasma cells ang atoang B cells. Next is T cell deficiencies. We have the Nezelov syndrome, defective development of lymphoid thymus. So there will be inability to produce lymphocytes, specifically your T cells. And then the George syndrome naman, walay thymus gland. So kung walay thymus gland, dili mag-mature ang T cells. So walay T cells in general. So markedly decreased ang T cells. There will be deletion, no, of the chromosome band 22q11.2. Next is SCID. No? SCID is severe combined immunodeficiency disease. So both the T and B cells are missing or less, or decreased in number. The sex-linked agammaglobulinemia, there will be a mutation in the interleukin-2 receptor which is present sa inyong T cell and B cell. Okay, so kung walay interleukin-2, dili mag-function ang B cell o T cell. So walay immune system ang imuha patient. The Swiss type agammaglobulinemia, these are autosomal recessive, little to no immunoglobulin. Okay, but the thymus is present but lacks the other lymphoid elements. Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome naman, this is a sex-linked recessive disorder. Okay, mutation in the WASP gene. Yan, so normal ang total immunoglobulin levels, okay, but severely decreased ang IgM levels. The triad pala of your Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome is the immunodeficiency, eczema, and your thrombocytopenia. Okay, next is we have your ataxia telangiectasia. So this is autosomal recessive disorder. So decreased there will be lymphopenia or lymphocytopenia or hypoplastic ang thymus. Yan, so in summary, so granulocyte na mga qualitative disorders. Ayan, so granulocyte siya, si hypersegmentation, Pelger-Wet, we have two, no? Pelger-Wet, true Pelger-Wet and pseudo Pelger-Wet. Your Alder-Riley granules, our RADS, Chiajaki-Gashi-Doli, toxic granules, toxic vacuoles, and LE cell. For lymphocytes naman, we have your basket cells, hairy cell, and Sézary cell. Your plasma cells, we have your flame cell and grape cells. So ayan, so that's it for your lecture video. So I hope take note kayo sa mga naka-blank and see you sa next lecture video.